Good morning. Welcome to Vlogmas day 4. I accidentally hung out with my friends until, like 4 in the morning, 3 something, and I am working today. So I have my Sunday shift and working from 8 to 4. So that's really fun. I actually surprisingly don't feel that tired, but I am. I'm sure it'll hit me later. So maybe for my lunch break, I'll take a nap. We'll see. But Parade of Lights last night was like really fun. Sorry, I'm working. So looking for dates for a trip. But Parade of Lights was really fun. I've never done Parade of Lights in Denver. I've only done it in Brighton. So that was cool. Everybody was so cute. Yeah, I love them. We had a fun, cute, sweet little time. I feel like I have other things to talk about, but just kind of checking in, and I'll check in again in a few hours and maybe tell more details about Parade of Lights and stuff. And I haven't told Alex anything yet, so when I fill Alex in about my day, I can fill you guys in too. Alex is awake.
Good morning, crusty crew.
I started to fill him in about my day, and then I was like, oh wait, I said I was gonna tell the vlog too. Huh.
And here we are.
And now here we are.
And here we are.
And then you're gonna fill me in about your day.
Oh.
Okay. So what was I talking about?
All the people who went to the Christmas lights, and then you were at the Christmas lights.
So okay, here's what I did first.
Okay.
First thing I did was go to Rhino Beer Garden and meet up with Jared and Connor.
Fun.
And it was just for 15 minutes. I didn't even get a beer. I just went in there because I get my hair done at Zeppelin Station. So, and they were like, we're right here. So I popped in and I was like, hi. And then when I got my hair done, and then got done with my hair way earlier than I thought, thank goodness, because she had me on the counter until 5:40, and then she had me on the calendar until 5.
I was like, oh, if you're gonna look at me, I should stand by the camera so that she's talking to you. But I guess not. She had you until... She
had me on the calendar until 5:40.
Too long.
But I was in by like 4, which is great.
Oh wow, okay. Well.
So then I
started at 1.
Yeah.
Started at 1.
Yeah.
Too long.
Yeah. It's a long time. And then I went to the light rail, rode the light rail.
Nice.
And then
as planned,
walked to Mellow Mushroom, which I've never been there before. It's pizza.
Oh no, I know where that is.
Got pizza, but it was packed because of the Parade of Lights. And our waiter started very fun. He was like young and full of energy and
full of life.
He felt like a theater kid, you know? And so we were kind of like, oh, this guy's fun, and we were kind of liking him. And then he was like, girl, I'm gonna give you a gluten-free crust because it's gonna be less contamination. And okay, sweet thing he did, he brought over a picture of the ingredients on his phone and let me read it, and I was like, thank you, this is like a gift. And I was like, oh dude, thanks. And then, you know, we were all like, oh, we love him. And then at the end of the night, he just like had a 180, and we like don't know what happened, but he goes like, he's like, does anybody want any desserts? Like, and then he listed some like desserts, and then he's like, or shots, like as part of the desserts. And then Chris was like, shots for dessert? And he was like, yeah. And then he starts listing shots, like, and then Connor was like, Jared, you should get a blowjob shot. And then our waiter was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, they're pretty good, no homo. And all of us at the table like fell silent. Like we were all just like shocked. Like we all just went,
because he has to like defend it to people all the time.
And that's what we were...
He had no idea who he was talking to.
And that's what we were saying, is that we're like, he probably works... It's 16th Street Mall. He probably works up with a bunch of boomers all day. But it was just like... What do you...
It's a good
What?
shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just so shocking. Like, we were...
Okay, mustache mullet boy. It's a
Right.
good shot.
It was so weird. And so we were all like, oh my god. And then he like walked away and we were all like, what just happened? We were just like flabbergasted. And then like we talked about it the rest of the night. It was so weird. And then he just like was mean after that.
Yeah.
He just like had a shift. And then he was like, hey, how are we doing checks? And then someone was like, I'd love it if we could split them. And then he was like, or you could just like Venmo each other. Like we were like, what happened to this guy?
Yep. He hates Connor.
Apparently.
Yeah, Connor ruined it.
I know. We actually think Chris ruined it because he called him, our waiter's name was Elijah, and he called him Elliot, which is Olivia's boyfriend's name, who we were also with.
Oh.
And so he goes, oh, Elliot, and then Elijah goes, Elliot or Elijah? And I think that was actually the true shift. And then after that, he just became a different person. So we blame Chris. But my gluten-free pizza was pretty good. Oh, and they burnt Jared's calzone. And so it was like, he was the only person who got a calzone. Everybody else got pizza, but he was like, how long does a calzone take? And the guy was like, just as long as a pizza. So like, just get a calzone if that's what you want. And then he comes back and he's like, our oven ate your calzone. And then Jared kind of laughed and he was like, so it'll be another 6 minutes. And then Jared was like, oh, you're serious? And he was like, yeah.
He could have just got 2 calzones.
I know. So then we all walked over to the Parade of Lights and we got to see Jake Jabs, Colorado celebrity. He was like,
Speaking of Colorado celebrity.
good morning. She's been in her crate sleeping all day. And we even went and talked to her and she was like, no thank you, I would like to keep sleeping, huh?
But she can hear us having too much fun out here.
Do you hear us out here having too much fun?
Good morning, sweetheart. And you as well. Yes, and you as well. Do you guys eat food?
Oh, little hungry hippos. Oh, so, yeah, so we saw Jake Jabs, and that was like the big build up, even at dinner, is like all of Jared's friends were like, oh, and then you get to see Jake Jabs, like it's a thing. And then everybody's like, who's Jake Jabs? Because no one's from Colorado, and by no one I mean Chris and Connor are like, what are you talking about? And and Chris had his Polaroid and he like took a picture with his Polaroid of the Jake Jabs float, and obviously it like didn't turn out at all, but it was so funny. And Olivia brought some peppermint schnapps, which was really fun. But
we should have brought ours.
I know. Had I known, I would have.
Get rid of it.
And then, oh, but Jake Jabs' float, first of all, he had like 3. It was like insane, but his big one was like a living room setup, of course, with like American Furniture Warehouse furniture, and it's just like him and his family like sitting around in a living room on a truck. It was really cute. And then a huge tiger float, and then a truck with a bunch of stuffed animal tigers in it. It was cute. And then there were some really big inflatable ones. That's where it felt not like Brighton. Most of it felt like Brighton's Parade of Lights, because I was saying that I've never been to Denver's Parade of Lights, and I was like, you know what, it's comparable to Brighton's. Like, I've been blown away at Brighton's before, where I've been like, whoa, you know? And this was like, oh, yeah. Other than there were tons of marching bands, because it was like all the high schools in Denver, so that was really fun, seeing all the marching bands and stuff. Cool. And then having the big blow-up floats like in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, you know, there were like 3. Cool. So that was pretty cool.
Like balloons.
Like balloons, yeah, like big balloons. So that was cool. And they would have to like dip them under telephone wires sometimes, and so that was kind of funny. The marching bands were good. There were like fire dancers and stuff. That was kind of cool. Yeah. And then, oh, a random guy walked behind me and was like, I like your coat, because I had my little cow coat on. And I was like, ah! So that was cool. And then we kind of walked around the 16th Street Mall for a long time. And then we went to the little Christmas market over by the courthouse? Civic Center Park? I don't know. But there were like these, like, kind of like German Christmas markets. Cool. And at first that was very fun, where we were like, oh, what a perfect night to do this. Like, everyone's out and about. And then it got scary, where we were like packed in here like sardines and can't get out.
We're gonna get crushed.
Yeah, just like that TikTok. So that was like kind of scary. And then we were like, let's get out of here. Anyway, so we walked around the 16th Street Mall. And then we all kind of got really tired. Where it was like, Jared and Connor had been up early for the soccer game. Oh, they got up at like 7 or 8, and we had been up last night till like midnight. And so like we all kind of hit a wall at a certain point, and then like some of Jared's friends like left, and then it was like we're just walking to the car like in silence. But then we got our second wind, obviously. And so then we went to the theater because Jared was in the duel, like hosting the duel. And that was fun. I had one of those dragon milk stouts.
They're good.
Yeah, they're good. And then, yeah, then we went over to Jared's. And I genuinely did not know what time it was until I like got in the car, and then I was like, what? Like, if you would have asked me, I would have guessed it was like 12:30.
Whoa.
I really had no sense of time because we didn't like go to any bars after. Yum. Tell me about your day now.
Oh. Chris invited me over to Hot Tub and hang out with one of his friends, Blake, from Chris's kind of new group of friends, which is totally fine, and we like Blake a lot. So we hot tubbed.
Fun.
For the majority of the day. Like, we were out there for hours. And Blake is delightful. Cool. And surely he will not watch this. I hope he doesn't. But he's so smart.
Cool.
I would like to say smarter than I thought. Right? Like, there's just a picture in my head where I was like, he's not gonna be dumb.
No.
But then it's like, oh, you're pursuing an MDiv. Like, you know what you're talking about.
Whoa.
So it was really cool to talk about spiritual stuff and our journey kind of being raised in church and then being very Christian in college and then where we are now. So it was really cool. Lots of good conversation.
Cool.
And it was fun to see Chris get to be the other Chris.
What do you mean? Like,
out and open and having fun Chris.
Yeah.
Because he's still, you know, everyone behaves a little bit differently around different group. So it was nice to be like, oh, you're totally yourself, but I do see like this different side coming out. And I was super on board with it. I'm like, oh, this is only fun.
Cool.
And then we went to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, fun.
Yum.
Yum.
Because that's where we were supposed to eat that one time, but we never did.
Oh, yeah.
And then they both had stuff to do. And then my parents were watching James and Amanda's kids. And so I jumped in the car with them to take Eliana home.
Fun.
Got to hang out with Amanda. So I went all the way to their place.
Fun.
Got to visit for a while, which was so nice. I was telling my parents, I don't get to talk to Amanda like that.
Yeah.
Because usually there's always kids or at some kind of group function.
Yeah.
And it was nice to be like, oh, it's me, my parents, Amanda.
Yeah.
And really, I just got to be a fly on the wall, and I was listening for most of it.
That's fun.
It was nice. Eliana was delightful. That's my youngest niece.
Little baby.
I often kind of make cry. Or she's like right on the line. So yesterday, she really was only in a good mood, and that was really fun and sweet.
That's really fun and sweet.
And then on the way home, some of the cool stuff was, one, just talking to my parents and having those little intimate moments.
Yeah.
Because to have, you know, what, a 30-minute car ride, I was like, oh, you can talk about a lot of stuff in a 30-minute car ride.
Yeah.
I often play my dad music, and we like kind of bond through that. So I was playing some of the stuff on my 2022 Spotify Wrapped.
Fun.
And I was like, okay, I know you might not like this, and I've already talked about it, but Kendrick Lamar is my artist of the year, and I'm gonna play you a couple of songs.
Yeah.
Played Savior. He wasn't quite there yet, and I'm like, that's okay. This is more, you know, you gotta listen to like half the album, and then Savior hits.
Yeah.
Then I played him Auntie Diaries, and he started to get it, but he like doesn't pick up on all the lyrics, so it's hard for him. And then I played Mother Sober, and then he got it, and he was like, oh, I would like to listen to this.
That made me want to cry.
It's beautiful. And that song, when it hits, because he's talking about so much stuff, and then when I was like, Dad, you're not listening to the whole album, but this is basically the finale to the album.
Yeah.
And he sets everyone free, and he's like acting as a Christ figure. Oh. Listen to Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Especially the new album, but all the stuff.
Good. Yeah.
I described it to my dad that this is a guy who got very famous, who grew up in Compton, and then got very famous for rapping, was in the industry, and then this is like a decade after he gets famous, and goes to therapy and is working on generational trauma. Like, that's what his album is about.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
It's really good.
So.
I just realized I did tell a lie. Where I was like, I don't understand.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I don't understand where the time went. Here's where it went. We went to Charlie Brown's for the hot nap, like, kind of Christmas party.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So that's where the time went.
So
but in my
Rise
head,
to Charlie Brown's and then to Jared's?
Yes.
Okay. Totally makes sense.
Yeah. I was like,
well,
something isn't adding up. I was like, there's a huge chunk of time that's missing. Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
And I remember it. And their bathrooms are different and weird, and I like walk up and I'm like waiting in a line to go to the bathroom, and a girl was like, I think there's someone passed out in there. And I was like, are you serious? And I even like knocked on the door and I was like, are you okay? Like, all this stuff. And then like I kind of leave and go back to the table. I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom, and like I don't know what to do. And then I go back and someone else is waiting, and then the girl that I was waiting with before comes out of the bathroom, and she was like, I just didn't know how to use the door. There's a sign right there that says how. I just didn't know. And I was like, oh. But I'm glad she told me, because I think I would have been confused. But anyway, so no one was passed out.
Shoo.
Shoo.
And now we're gonna have a day of working, because I have homework to do and you're on the clock.
And I'm on the clock.
Well.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I just got off work and Alex said I'm not allowed to do Vlogmas anymore.
Shut up.
It's such a bummer. Alex is like, you know what?
Vlogmas is canceled.
Vlogmas is canceled.
I'm sick of Vlogmas.
That's right. I was like, please, my Premiere Pro crashed. You're my tech guy. I need so much help. You're the one who got me Premiere. And he was like, sorry, I hate Vlogmas. And your dreams. Is that true?
No.
Yeah, I'm lying. But I don't know, he's doing stuff. But anyway, I just got off work and I was gonna edit some Vlogmases because I haven't even touched them. Anywho, so I got off work and I was like, I'll do some Vlogmases. And then Premiere crashed. It like won't even let me open the app. And so I was like, okay, I guess no Vlogmas. I like tried restarting it a couple times and I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I'm just sleepy, tired, and I'm gonna sit and watch TikToks instead. On the bright side, I feel good about the work that I'm doing at work. Changing my strategy and hopefully gonna do better this month than I've done the last couple of months. I'm new to sales, I don't know. Tough, new. We ate some chicken and couscous.
Yes.
And we watched some GMMs. We are so behind on them.
Yeah.
And it's 7:30 and I'm gonna go to bed. Because I'm sleepy.
And we love that for you.
Thank you. And Alex is gonna play games and write a paper.
Mm-hmm.
Alex is in school.
I finished a lot of people's Christmas presents today.
Nice.
I'm still doing the AI art. I did one for Kirk, which turned out really well.
Fun.
And then kind of finalized everyone else's, and I'll probably order stuff this week.
Fun.
To like get the images on something. Whether
Cool.
that's like canvas or metal.
Mm-hmm.
Thought about putting it on like a metal poster.
Fun.
Be cool.
Really cool.
Night night.